And after all this fighting, I have decided that the city still needs me. It still needs a friendly neighborhood. Oh, hi, Spider-Man. Didn't see you there. What? Superman, you're not supposed to be here. I mean, we live in two whole different franchises. Well, I couldn't help but overhear you talking about how the city needs you, and I was just thinking, if you ever needed super strength, laser eyes, x-ray eyes, freezing breath, well, you know who to call. Ah, well, thanks man, but, I mean, you with your ability to stick to walls and really good acrobatics could probably need some help. Uh-huh. I mean, I don't think you can lift a whole bus with one arm, let alone fly with it. No, I can't. And, well, Superman, go on. Get out. You're being recasted right now. Go film your own movie instead of barging into my universe. Well, okay, but you never know what Doctor Strange will do. Superheroes have always been a part of my life, and I'm guessing yours as well. Or should I say humans with supernatural abilities? I'm talking about Superman, Spider-Man, Scarlet Witch, The Flash, Jedi, and the like. I think it's natural for us as humans to long to look up to something greater, and perhaps superheroes is a way we kind of do that. And if a writer of a superhero can make a story that is relatable, meaningful, inspiring, and also entertaining, well then bang, you just got yourself an award-winning movie. According to a quick Google search, aha! The very first story of superheroes is old, dating all the way back to 1936, with the first fictional superhero called The Phantom by Lee Falk. And ta-da! After him we get a whole plethora of legendary people which can be found in our books, comics, movies, shows, and the like. If I can recall, I think the first superheroes I think I saw, or at least I can remember, might have been two things. Our cartoon Justice League, which my parents found when they took us over to a friend's house. They figured, in order to keep us contained, they would just stick us in a room and play a movie. A win-win for everyone. Well, I guess not, because the movie was rated R, and I remember quite a few horrifying details that happened. But I was a kid and didn't comprehend too much of it. Or it was a Spider-Man movie or a series called Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, which my parents also found to keep us contained. But that one was a lot more kid-friendly, and probably is one of the reasons why I love Spider-Man so much. But what my parents didn't realize was that by exposing me to these shows, I joined the many people who enjoyed watching movies about superheroes beating up questionable villains. Within my school, there was a lot of debate on the topic of superheroes, specifically which universe is better, Marvel or DC. For those of you who don't know, Marvel/Disney is responsible for movies like Spider-Man, Avengers, Iron Man, and those types of movies. It tends, big asterisks on the tends, to be more bright, lighthearted, and look absolutely amazing. Of course, these are not set in stone, but again, that tends to be the case. DC, on the other hand, tends to tackle more dark villains, with the movies having a sense of an overall gloom. But that makes them really fun to watch, as the superheroes overcome these challenges. Again, this only tends to be the case. I mean, Shazam was great and had an overall uplifting tone. I actually wasn't expecting it to be so good. 10 out of 10. Of course, there are other superhero universes like Invincible, but generally Marvel and DC are the biggest ones. And generally speaking, most people favored Marvel and Marvel superheroes over DC. I think a lot of this is due to the fact that, well, recently Marvel has just been creating really good movies. But that's not to say it's simply because Marvel is inherently better. Oh no. They just literally have billions of dollars from Disney backing them up. And so where do I stand on this deeply divided situation? Well, I like them both. But Ben, that's not really a valid answer. True, but hear me out. I grew up around both companies pretty evenly, and honestly, I absolutely love many of the DC superheroes such as The Flash, Green Lantern. But with DC, the uniqueness of the characters, how different and dynamic they are, just makes me think they are a lot more of a diverse team. And each character has a ton of depth into them, which DC is not afraid of going into. But on the other hand, Marvel creates amazing, colorful stories that I just love. Spider-Man has always been one of my favorite superheroes, and I love dipping my toes into the more lighthearted world away from the hard one I'm currently living. I'm not saying this one is bad, but this one is also fun. So, in general, I like more DC characters, but I also like the plot and visual story in Marvel, generally speaking. Well, if I grew up with both universes, it begs the question, which superheroes are my favorite? We'll sit down as I give you my top 5 and why. Starting at the bottom, I love Ladybug and Cat Noir. What on earth are you talking about? Do you know what he's talking about? No, I don't. Pipe down and listen up. My fifth and favorite superheroes are actually not from DC or Marvel at all, but from this French show entitled Miraculous, The Tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir. I cannot tell you how much I love this show. When my friends talked to me about it, I was like, Miraculous Ladybug? Psh, what a lame name. But because I was interested, I watched the first episode, and oh my goodness, I was absolutely unimpressed. I did not like it at all. But then, when I watched the second episode on Netflix, I was like, the villains seem to be stupid, and the characters, in my perspective, are cheesy, but something is making me slowly like this show. And then episode 3 hit with stormy weather and it clicked, officially turning me into a hardcore fan. The characters are golden and the action and animation are phenomenal. The plot and character developments are insane and the villains are unique. It's so good. Some of the episodes are predictable and some are a little dry from my perspective, but overall it's just an amazing story and their never-ending relationships are, well, incredible. They're relatable despite them living a double life as superheroes, and honestly I was able to emotionally connect with some of them. The show is an 11 out of 10 most of the time, and honestly, you guys should watch it. It takes a while to get used to the animation and the villains, but it is honestly so fun. My third and second favorite superheroes then are a bit more familiar ones. One's from DC and the other is from Marvel, and those are Green Lantern and Spider-Man. You like the Green Lantern? That movie was so not the movie. The character of the Green Lantern is fascinating. There are several comic people who possess the title of Green Lantern, but the most familiar would probably be Hal Jordan. But no matter what character they are, most are from humble origins and obtain a green ring that allows them to materialize anything they think. Whee! I like this character a lot, as it inspired me that people with their imaginations can do amazing things with help. And then Spider-Man. I will be honest, I think I liked Spider-Man too much as an irrational kid, that I purposely got bit by a non-venomous spider hoping to get superpowers. Oh, hi, Mr. Spider. Want to give me a little bit of that power? Kids, don't do that. And if you do get bit by a spider, hurry to a medical site. It wasn't a Black Widow or a brown recluse, but did leave me with a little rash. But Spider-Man is a character who is funny, relatable, but also not inherently overpowered. Oftentimes, he has to use his brain to win situations or resort to science to create a nifty tool. Because, let's be real, all he can do is climb up walls, shoot webs, be a little bit stronger, and being able to catch food really well with his spider sense.
Hungry?
Well, most of the time. Recently, Marvel has been doing a great job of making their superheroes a lot more, well, human. And they have done that very well with Spider-Man, and I appreciate the character all the more for that. And lastly, my favorite character. Drum roll, please. The Flash. As a kid, my attention span for certain things were basically 0. And so anything that moved around quickly and the lightning was so good that I frickin' loved the show. I watched the CW Flash as a kid and fell head over heels for it. CW did a fantastic job with storytelling, making him human, showing his struggles that I was able to emotionally connect with a character like never before. He felt just like me, with these struggles that seemed overwhelming, but with perseverance, trust, and faith and help, you were able to overcome basically anything. Also, he is not perfect. Barry Allen, the Flash, makes so many mistakes that he drives away his friends so many times. Yet coming back and genuinely apologizes to them, which showed me as a kid that no matter who you are, you always have to be humble and treat people with respect. This show has done so well with virtually no budget. The effects vary, sure, in quality as they struggle to produce a show, but at its heart, it showed me invaluable lessons and is overall really well done, and that's why I love the show. But speaking of The Flash, can we acknowledge how good these effects are from the Justice League Flash? They're beautiful.
Long afloat on shapeless oceans.
So okay. DC, can you please hire the directors of the CW show for Barry Allen's character development in the movies? Thanks. Okay, bye. Superheroes have the ability to bring out the better part of people and can remind us of the importance of how we treat others. But it is important that we don't rely or depend on fictional heroes, because as much as we want them to be real, they're fictional. If someone is in trouble, we can't expect Superman to swoop down to save the day, but it can remind us that even though we are just people, we can work to be heroes of one another. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a superb rest of your day. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I love superhero movies, but now it's your turn. In the comments or with people in your own outside world, list some of your favorite superheroes. Also, I wanted to thank everyone in my life. They are super to me and I love each and every one of you. Especially my mom. Love you. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and remember to drink lots and lots of orange juice. And stay away from spiders.